Hello, you're watching Much Ado About Something today, and I'm Donna. Well, we're out here in the front yard. It rained last night. We had quite a bit of rain, so it was a good soaking rain. I don't have to water that much this morning, but I wanted to just bring you along with me and David. Me and David are out here today, and he is playing with Sidewalk Chalk that I got at Sam's. Sam's had a really good deal in that. So David is playing with Sidewalk Chalk, and he's going to draw something on the sidewalk. I have still to finish the containers. I've got this container that sits right here, and I'm going to add plants into that. And look at the hanging baskets that we planted the last video. They are looking good. They are hanging in there, and I hope they continue to look good. The Queen Anne's lace, it looks like it's going to open up soon. And I'm excited for that because you know that is my favorite flower. And I wanted to show you the Clematis that's hiding over here beside of the house. Look at that thing. It has bloomed. It has opened up and it is gorgeous. I'm very pleased with it. Very, very pretty. Such a big ball of blooms. Now this Clematis was supposed to be growing up this trellis that we had here that's aging out. It's a wooden trellis. We're going to take that down, and Donald's just going to replace it with cattle panels, so that maybe this fall we can get this Clematis to go and climb on the trellis the way it's supposed to. It has leaned out here and grabbed onto this little tree here, and it's made its home right there. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy its beauty this year because I do think it's awesomely beautiful. So pretty. I wanted to share that with you today. That's my favorite garden thing of the day. And I wanted to share with you some other things that's going on. Now this is the cutting that Donald got from his mom. It's a camellia bush. It's a red and white camellia bush, and we've been trying to keep it watered. But it's drying out, and I can tell by the leaves it's not staying wet enough for right here where it's at. So what I'm going to do is I have saved these old coconut liners. They were not good for a hanging basket. They had holes in them, and they wouldn't stay in the basket liner. But I didn't want to throw it away, so I'm going to recycle it by wrapping this coconut liner that I've just cut, straight up one side, and I'm going to use it as mulch around this camellia bush that Donald got from his mom.
Granny, where's the dead bird?
Now here it is. I've got this coconut liner around this tree, kind of acting like a mulch. I'm hoping it'll hold in some of the moisture. And I'm just going to take this rock that I've got right here, and I'm going to put it over this coconut liner. David's found some dandelions.
So you can make your tea.
Thank you. Will you go put them on the porch for me? And so by putting this coconut liner on and laying this rock down, I'm hoping that it will, well, the rock will keep the coconut liner from blowing away, but I'm hoping it'll hold more moisture because this little, where we've transferred this little camellia is, it has some dried leaves and it's struggling some. So that's the effort today, is just to retain as much moisture in this as we can until this thing takes good root here. And it should take good root because they root fairly easily. That stone will help hold moisture and then also keep that coconut liner from blowing away. And I'm just going to make sure that I water this thing several times a day and that it has enough moisture. That's a good use for these old coconut liners that you can't use in a basket, but you can use them for other things. David has spotted a tiny little praying mantis.
They're tiny.
Point at it, David. Just point at it. Don't touch it. There you go. We love praying mantis. We count them as our friends in our garden because they eat aphids and other things that eat our plants. So they're always welcome additions. And I can't believe David spotted that tiny little praying mantis. I've got one more coconut liner that I want to use, one more old coconut liner, and I'll probably line a planter or something that has big holes that I don't want a lot of water to seep out of. That's probably what I'll use this one for. I've got one more hanging basket over there that I've got to plant today, and then I have several containers that I wanted to plant.
Hey, Grammy, look.
Now, these are all the plants that I've got to put in my planters today. My hanging baskets in my planters. Well, I think I got these marigolds. I actually got these to go in the garden. And I did get one little straight 8 cucumber plants. And I've got some more cucumber plants right over there that we're going to actually put in the vegetable garden. But the rest of these goes in the planters and goes in the hanging basket today. So we're continuing that today and trying to get that done. Look at all these little pine cones that's fallen off of these pine trees we've got over here. They're just covering everything between pollen and all these little things right here. We've just really got a mess out here. And they're all over. Now this is my little bucket of soil and peat moss mix that I use when I'm out here gardening. I keep this little thing covered up with a big garbage bag since I don't have a potting shed right now. This is my mix of peat moss and compost that Donald got out of the compost pile for me. I've got it mixed up here, and I'll be putting that in our hanging basket and finishing planting that today. So I can go ahead and get these plants on in where they need to be. I normally start most all of my flowers from seeds, but this year I have went ahead and bought some plant starts to go ahead and do what I need to do, because I had a very late start. I had a lot of things going on, and that's how it is some years, so it's okay. I'm giving myself grace. And just going ahead and using store-bought from the nursery plants. Now, I love to start my own plants from seed. And I will be starting plenty of plants from seed, but just to get started this year, I'm going to go ahead and use the ones that I got from the nursery. I have sort of stuck with a red and white theme. That's been the predominant colors that I've gotten. But I'm going to add a purple here and there. These are petunias. And I love to get the petunias because I think that they hold up to the heat that we have in our area. It gets so hot sometimes. I think last year we had several weeks where the temperature was well into the 90s and up into the hundreds. And when it gets that hot, you've got to have something that can hold up to that heat. So I feel like petunias meet that bill. I think they hold up to the heat well. That's one of the reasons I love to add them to the planters and to the hanging baskets. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple into this one. I've got this ageratum. I should have watered it. It looks a little weak, but I'm going to put that in a container. And then I think I'm just going to add a couple of red red impatiens. And a different kind of impatient. This is a slightly different impatient.
Mantis was moving when I was blowing it.
Actually, it's a vinca. That's a vinca. So we're mixing that in. And this will be the way this hanging basket will come about. Got earthworms in this compost. I always toss those out because we won't need them in our containers or our hanging baskets. They're great in the garden, but I never put them in the hanging baskets.
Mommy, my mantis jumped off of the leaf. When the prime mantis jumped.
I am putting a few little pebbles on top of this planter. I'm experimenting to see what I can do to help these plants hold more moisture, to not dry out so fast. So I'm putting this on here to just see if this helps in the watering process. And then I'm going to go ahead and hang this up, and then I'll water it good. You can't? So we'll get that pretty hanging basket watered good and see how it grows. Now this is a beautiful salvia, which I love salvia. This is a beautiful one here. I'm going to put it right in the middle of this plant. Right in the middle of this planter. You can see there it's a Salvia officinalis, and it's an herb, so it's always welcome. But I love the variegated texture of this plant, so that's the reason I chose it for this container garden. Now I have salvia out in the garden, and it's beautiful. This one is not variegated, it's just a regular leaf salvia, and I love it. I pick it, I use it to make my sage pasta, sage sauce for my pasta. That recipe is on my channel. If you'll view over my channel, you'll find that. Sage sauce for spaghetti, for noodles, and it is delicious. But this is the beautiful bloom on that. And this one over here will have a bloom just as beautiful. And it's a perennial, so that means it'll be back every year, year after year. I'll have this beautiful salvia until I plant it into the garden, into the ground. So I'm just going to put some vinca and some impatiens around this salvia. And I'm just going to alternate between white and red. I'm going to finish this video, okay? And then I'll just add dirt right into this to fill this in around these plants. And then this planter will be planted. Now we're going to go ahead and water these in. Now it may seem a little sparse, this planter, but as these plants grow, they'll fill it in. Now a lot that we planted last week, or the last time we videoed, I'm going to need to water today. I'm going to need to splash some water on all these hanging baskets. Make sure everything's watered good. It's supposed to be hot and sunny today, and of course that'll take a toll on these hanging baskets and these planters if they don't have enough water. So I'll be doing that today. Just getting a few of these things done that need to be done out here in the garden today. Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time.